guys, so I felt really inspired to make a video today, and I want to talk about a few things, but I think the number one thing I want to talk about is like finding like that sense of like joy again, you know, when you like wake up and you're just like excited for like your day. You know, if you feel like you've lost that and you're trying to find it again, then this video is for you. Yeah, and my name is Renee. For those of you that are new here, subscribe if you like this video, and also follow me on Instagram. I'm starting to use Instagram a lot more now. I don't know, let's see how that goes. But yeah, so the reason I wanted to make this video is because I feel like it's so easy to get like stuck in bad habits, and it's hard to make good habits again. So speaking from my own experience, when I was like, you know, really, I guess when I was like in college, I guess you could say, like right after graduating high school, and just like for those few years after, I was in like grind mode, you know, like I was super, if you're into like the whole masculine slash feminine energy world, and you understand like how those kind of coincide with each other, I was like 100% probably, or no, at least like 95% in my masculine. Like I was just like grinds it out. I had like all these goals. I would just set, you know, all of these expectations for myself. I wanted to do music. I wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to be like perfect health. Like I just had like so much drive and motivation, and I was just like hustling all the time, you know, and I was working and commuting, and it was just like I was kind of a wreck, like mentally and like physically too, but I was working hard, you know. And so obviously that's not sustainable, right? But I did what I had to do to get my goals complete. And you know, one of my biggest goals was moving and having like a stable career. So I, you know, accomplished that goal. Now I have different goals, but at the time that was my goal. So I achieved that. And but the interesting thing, you know, I'm a few years into like that lifestyle that I had envisioned for myself at that time, right? So at first I was like very happy, and I was like chilling and proud of myself, and I felt like I could relax, and I was just really just so in the present moment every single day, because I'm like literally seeing these things that I used to journal about come true. So like there were like little things too. Like I found so much happiness and joy and peace in like small things, you know, because I was comparing it to like before. So like for example, when I would like journal about like how I wanted my life to be like a couple years ago, I probably even have videos on my channel talking about this. I would be like, oh, I can't wait to like be able to like go around the corner and like go to a nice cafe and like go to the park, and you know, be able to wear the things I want to wear, because I can walk everywhere and I don't have to spend so long on the train, and I can feel safe. And you know, there was just so many different things that were going to change in my mind and like in my lifestyle once I moved, and they did once I did move. So appreciating all of those things, you know, really like sincerely feeling that deep appreciation for the change I had and the accomplishing of my goals at the time, you know, made me feel like I was really enjoying the present moment. And I just had like this joy, you know, like this excitement and this joy and this enthusiasm and gratitude, like deep gratitude, because you know, that was like a big part of my journey, was a big part of like the level up, right, was changing my environment. And I finally had that, so that was huge. And that was when I first moved. So, you know, obviously as time goes by, you want to keep growing, right? You want to keep expanding. You want to keep doing bigger and better things. You want to put yourself in, you know, you have bigger goals. You're always going to have goals. You're always going to have dreams and things that you want, right? So, you know, I'm now in that phase where I've built on that, and, you know, I had another goal. Okay, boom, got that goal. And it was like another upgrade. And somewhere along the way, you know, just in the past year, maybe even more than a year, it's like I've been so focused on trying to go to the next place, like trying to achieve that next whatever it is, like next goal, next lifestyle change, next level of whatever, that I've kind of sometimes lost that just you know, joy for just the present moment and just like, you know, my everyday life. And it's crazy because it's a small thing, but once you lose that, it's almost like, you know, you're leaking so much energy, and your joy and your happiness and your peace in a way is gone because you think that you're going to have it once you get to the next goal. And that's a lie. So I've had to do a lot of inner work on myself, not only in the past year, but also recently too, because I've had to like retrain myself to just be like happy with my daily life, happy with the small things, grateful for the small things, enjoying the little things in life, and accepting and really deeply accepting and like loving where I am right now. Because you know, it's true that sometimes you never know. Maybe one day you're going to miss the situation that you were in. You're going to miss the place that you used to live. You're going to miss the people that you used to know. And you're going to, you know, even though you were probably striving for something else, you know, nostalgia always does that. It makes you want to go back in time. And there's some truth in that, because there are probably things that you had back then that you don't have now, even though you're in a better place, that you miss. So, you know, not being grateful and not enjoying where you are right now, it kind of cheats you out of life, because you're not enjoying your everyday life, as well as, you know, it's not like a motivating feeling to like work toward your goals from this place of being unhappy and not accepting where you are, because it creates like a resistance feeling, like, you know, like you're fighting against life, like, you know. And once you lose that kind of joyful feeling, you know, that you don't need to buy anything to experience this feeling. You don't need anything to experience this feeling. You don't need anyone to experience this feeling. It's just like the joy of being in the present moment. You know, it's the joy of just like taking out your headphones and freaking letting your eyes look into the sun and just, you know, enjoying the sun, like enjoying those small things that money can't buy. That's like real life. That's you cannot buy that, you know. And if you can't appreciate where you are right now, and you can't appreciate the things that you have right now, and the blessings that you have right now, the life that you have right now, where you are, you know, your current situation, even if it's small things, then you're not going to be able to like fully receive or appreciate where you are in the future, because it starts with the small things. If you can't even appreciate a small thing, then when you reach that other goalpost, you're not going to be able to appreciate that either. And you know, I've talked about this before, but you know, I'm living it now, where I'm having to like just put all of my energy back into just enjoying life again, without like relying on other things like money, or you know, status, or whatever, like, you know, body image, whatever your thing is. I have my own. Like, for example, right now I'm, you know, I do have career goals, and I'm like really hard on myself sometimes, as a lot of us are, trying to get to that goal, and you know, feeling pressured and feeling like dread sometimes, because I don't want to be doing what I'm doing now. I want to be doing something else. But it's like, can you be grateful though? Like, can you just accept where you are? Like, remember when you used to want this and now you have it? Like, you have to, nobody else can feel that like sense of contentness for you. Like, you have to really remind yourself that you're fully capable of that. And yeah, it's just something that I've had to retrain myself how to do, because it's something that I used to have, and I feel like I kind of have gradually lost it over the past year of just striving to get to, you know, my next level, so to speak. But it's like, if you don't have that contentedness, nobody can give that to you. And it's a lie to trick yourself into thinking that when you get, you know, whatever it is, the money or the house or the job, that suddenly you will be happy, because it's like your internal world shows on the outside. So if I don't like fix my attitude now, and really just raise my vibe, I guess is what's happening, and like, you know, increase my gratitude for the things I have, then there's there's no point in continuously striving for these things that I think are going to bring me happiness, because that's not going to if I can't accept it now. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just one of those things, like a paradox. But so retraining yourself to experience and have joy again, how does that look? I'll explain my experience. For me, it's been in just appreciating the small things and, like, you know, the better parts of my day. So for me right now, what's making me happy is like my morning workout and my coffee. Like, that is my favorite time of day. That's when I feel the most inspired. That's when I'm getting fresh air. And, you know, I love coffee. So, you know, I'm really just letting myself appreciate that, like, and just really be content in that moment when I'm having that experience, because it's like a happy part of my day, and I'm fully just receiving and being content when I'm like working out, or when I'm walking, or when I'm having my coffee. Like, I'm actually like tasting the coffee and not like chugging it down, and just like, you know, letting myself chill and just like appreciate the beauty that's already around me. Not to get poetic on y'all, but that's what it is, right? So I'm training myself to like the little things, and I'm also, what else am I doing? Like the cooking, you know, and just like taking pride in taking care of myself, not on a cosmetic level, but like actually like my health, because because I wasn't in the present moment, and I wasn't, you know, my mind was just like scattered. I also let go of my health. You know, I just haven't been keeping that same accountability. I haven't been that same person that I used to be when I was just super on top of my stuff. Like, I used to, you know, do intermittent fasting without like any problem, you know. I just had that like drive. And you know, sometimes we lose it, and that's okay. That's life. Life is like a cycle. And, you know, so I'm retraining myself to have good habits. I'm retraining myself to be joyful and to be in the present moment, and to just, you know, live my own life, not compare my life to other people, not strive to be where anybody else is besides myself. You know what I mean? Like, keeping that energy to myself, because that's also a way that we leak energy sometimes, is by like always having our eye on the next thing, on the next person, on the next goal, on the next like dream. Even though it's important to have ambition and drive, you know, you can be joyful now. You don't have to wait for that in the future. So for me, I'm just getting back into the present by just sometimes taking out my headphones, you know, appreciating the smaller things, finding joy in the smaller things, finding joy in even being bored sometimes, like not avoiding boredom, you know, like just chilling, like just enjoying silence sometimes, like not always having to use something to like placate me or to make myself feel better. If I'm sad, you know, let myself feel sad. I can still be grateful. Like, two things can be happening at the same time. So yeah, I just want to say I totally understand what it feels like sometimes to like lose that sense of like joy and, you know, enthusiasm for just like everyday life, because we have so much stress, you know, like there's a million reasons why we're going back and forth sometimes with our energy, why we are sometimes not happy. But like, it starts with appreciating and being happy with the small things, and then gradually from there you can receive the eventual, you know, bigger things, and you know, accomplish your goals and feel that sense of like fulfillment. But, you know, it starts with like accepting where you are, finding the joy in where you are right now, and, you know, being grateful. Like, being grateful, there's so many things to be grateful for every single day. So, and also another thing that's been helping me find joy again is changing my environment sometimes. So like, that means, you know, for all my introverts, getting out of the house. Yes, getting out of the house. And even if it's by yourself, like for me right now, I'm on this wave of like, I want to just spend time by myself. I'm, you know, pretty much going through a breakup. I'm not the best I've ever been, okay? But And it's like I don't have the energy necessarily to like go out and like socialize and like be around a lot of people, but I do like getting out of the house. So, you know, I find things to do. And that's bringing me joy because I'm seeing new things, you know, I'm experiencing new things. And it can be very simple things, like you don't have to necessarily like do something just because it makes you uncomfortable or like whatever. Like for example, sometimes you hear, oh, if you want to meet somebody, like go sit at a bar and like, you know, just talk to people. If that's not what you feel comfortable doing, don't do that. Like go to the park. There's people at the park too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can meet somebody anywhere. So it's good to like get out of your environment, and that's also called like pattern interrupting, where you just kind of like switch something in your like everyday routine to kind of be in a new energy, in a new space, and allow like inspiration and you know, creativity to find you and insights to find you. You have to get yourself out of your routine sometimes, especially when you're trying to solve a problem, and when you have like a major decision to make, like changing your patterns is like really helpful. So I've been doing that, and that's been helping me find joy because it interrupts that sense of like predictability that gets so boring and, you know, uninspiring and just blah. So yeah, there's just so many things that we can do, but it's a matter of like, will you take the accountability to find that sense of joy again or not? You can choose to accept where you are. There's three choices, right? If you're ever unhappy, if you're ever not content, this is that fourth. um, you can accept the situation for what it is, you know, and just accept it and just chill where you are. You can alchemize the situation, which is basically like using that energy to create a new situation. For example, like you can use like negative energy, or for example, a breakup. A breakup is pretty much for the most part negative energy sometimes. I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'll speak for myself. And you can use that energy to like fuel your workout, you know what I mean? Instead of like just laying down in your room and plotting revenge or being miserable, you can go to the gym. You can do something with that energy. That's alchemizing the situation. Or you can, what is it? It's accept, alchemize, and ascend. You can ascend the situation, which is basically like rise above the situation. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but those are the three options that are like a good way to think about how to like move forward, right? So finding the joy in like everyday living is where it's at. That's the wave right now, and it always has been. And you know, it's life, so sometimes we lose it, but finding those things that help us get inspired again and find just like joy and peace and a sense of contentness is something that we have the capability to do for ourselves. You know, you cannot rely on anyone else to do that for you or anything, because as soon as they're gone, then boom, your sense of peace and happiness is gone too. So that's kind of where I am at right now, because, you know, just doing a lot of thinking these days and spending a lot of time by myself and, you know, just thinking about life. So yeah, finding the joy again starts with finding joy in little things and being mindful and being present and taking accountability for the things that you want to change and getting out of that like helpless kind of victim mentality. Peace and love. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and follow me on Instagram at rncta. Don't forget, because just don't. Subscribe to.